What's up, yo? It's Nook2 here with a new comic haul. Um, First, as always, I want to thank everyone who's taken their time to watch my videos and leave a comment. I appreciate it. Um, I was out of town this past weekend and just got back early this morning. Um, Usually, when I am out of town, I will stop and look at local LCSs and see what I can find. Um, So let's get started. So what we have here is Batman 106, which is the first cameo appearance of is it Molly Miracle or Miracle Molly? I've shown this book before. I really like this book. This is the cover A. I like cover A better than cover B. It's on the bag. I think that is. Oh yeah, that's on the bag. Batman 106 again, first appearance of Miracle Molly or Molly Miracle, whatever it is, and the first appearance of the new Scarecrow costume, which is there. I like this yellow cover. This is my fifth and sixth copy. Found those both for cover price. I was actually surprised to see them still on the rack. They were behind the most recent issues. Batman's on like 111, and those two were still sitting in the back there at cover price. And so I thought I'd pick them up. I like that book a lot. So I did pay cover price for that. But I did, as always, go through the dollar bins, and I found quite a few books. And actually, some of these books I'm going to show are from the 35-cent sale that I showed on the last video. That I didn't. I mean, I bought a long box of books that day, so I haven't shown all the books, but these are some of them that I have bagged. So, I may have shown this in the last video, but I bagged it in a Mylar. Innovation, Legends of Stargazers, number 3, Adam Hughes, early Adam Hughes work. I think it's from 1989. Nice Josh Middleton cover B of Aquaman 51 for 35 cents. Really gorgeous cover. Some of his covers that he did for Aquaman were fantastic. This next 4 books, actually 5 books that I got here, has a little speculation on it. It's a story run where Brother Voodoo becomes Sorcerer Supreme. New Avengers 51, 52, 53 is a cameo of Brother Voodoo as Sorcerer Supreme, and then this is his first full appearance as Sorcerer Supreme. And I have not read these issues, but I believe this might be the conclusion of that story arc, number 55. So I didn't know. I just knew really mainly 54 and 53 were the spec books. They go for probably now about $10, maybe a little higher. New Avengers, because of all the MCU movies that were going on at the time, Endgame, Infinity War, etc. They were highly printed, and I'm sure I have these copies in my own collection from my pull list because Avengers has always been one of my favorite titles, dating back from the 100s. But anyway, to get them again, get another copy. That's probably my third or fourth set of that small run in New Avengers. To get them for 35 cents, I thought was a very good price. Also for 35 cents. This was an awesome find, and I did find this in a long box that was underneath the table, which, sometimes you just have to get on the ground and dig for books to find some, stealth buys, I guess you'd call them. Because this book would not have been found. This book would not have been there if it had been on the table of all the old long books, so someone would have found it. But I've been looking for this comic, and I was surprised to find that for 35¢. That's Firestar #1, or Firestar One Shot, covered by Stephanie Hans. That's a $20 book. I got these because they were in very high grade near mint copies. I may have this already. It was a maxi series from Marvel in the 80s. They had most of the run there, but I didn't want it all, even for 35¢. Actually, they didn't have all of the run. They had most of the run. And so I just got the first issue, Team America #1. And then I got the last issue, Team America #12. I collected that series as a kid, so I probably have the majority of that back in the 80s. It was okay. I don't think it would do well this day and age. Also, 35¢, I got Ride #2, Adam Hughes cover variant. I am still looking for issue #1. I've considered buying them online. They usually go for about $10 a piece. Just figured I could find that in the wild, but it's been difficult to find in the wild because it's a white cover. To find it clean and in their mint is a daunting task to even find it. And even online, people are selling it for $10 a piece. So that's in a near mint minus copy because it was a little dirty. It's not, it's okay. But it was in pretty good shape. What did I grade? I graded it a 9, because there's a little dirt here in a corner. I don't know if you can see it or not. But other than that, it was pretty sharp for 35¢. This is one of the most... this book I was most excited about to find. The Stephanie Hans Firestar I was really shocked to find. But this book here, as a Adam Hughes collector, I've been looking for a long time. It does have the crossover poster in there. But I have looked for this book for years and could not find it. Even online, it's not, readily available, and definitely not for cheap. But this is Marvel Age 129, early Adam Hughes cover for 35¢. Man, I was excited to find that. I found another copy of Star Wars Limited Series Rebel Heist. They only had this one, which was good for me because I have multiple copies of #1, #2, #4. I only have one copy of #3, so that lets me complete another full set of that series for 35¢. I did not have this, so I picked it up. Civil War II, Amazing Spider-Man #4. For 35¢. Each. These were all in near mint, so I went ahead and got them. I have multiple copies already, but Adam Hughes, females, Dr. Manhattan #1, covered by Adam Hughes. Went ahead and bought that for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 copies. So for 35¢ each, that wasn't, they had a lot more, but I figured 5 was enough. They weren't bagged in the box, and so I picked 5 really high grade near mint copies. I was surprised to find this. This is not in near mint. It's probably VF minus because of some spine ticks there. Actually, it's a little bit more than a spine tick. It's like almost a cut. And then spine ticks there. But for 35¢, this is probably my 4th copy of Legion 35. Adam Hughes cover. It's probably one of the more harder ones to find of his Legionnaires or Legion. Got this copy here of Amazing Spider-Man 191 for 35¢. And, at first it looked like it was in pretty good condition. It was bagged, You know, it was a, to get it for cover price, 35 cents, right? But when I took it home to rebag, there's a small chip missing on the back bottom cover. That would probably make this only a VG, maybe a 4.5, because it's missing a piece. But I didn't have that issue, and to get it for 35 cents, I wasn't gonna leave it there. This was another great find for me. X-Men Classic number 71, Adam Hughes cover. I had that already, but that's definitely an upgrade. It's in a lot higher condition than the one I have. That's a near mint copy. Let's see, what else did I have here to show? Let's see here. All New Wolverine number 6 in there, man. Didn't have that. I almost have the entire series now, the first series. I'm missing maybe 3 issues, and I've gotten all those issues in the wild. I went hunting for them after. I started picking this series up probably at issue number maybe 20, 21. And with the exception of number 2 and I think maybe number 8, I've been able to get all the way 1 through 20 or 19, whatever I started at. So for 30, and all less than $1, so $1 or less. So this was 35 cents. Number 2, because it's funny, first appearance of Honey Badger. That's probably going to be something I'm going to have to pick up in the back issue bin or on eBay, because I don't think I'll find that for $1 anymore. This here, I like this book. I think a lot of people like this book. Injustice 2, number 3. This is the first appearance of Ra's al Ghul's other daughter. Is not in continuity. Anastasia Al Ghul, near mint for 35 cents. That's probably now my 4th or 5th copy. I agree with all those that are speculating on that book. If she gets introduced into continuity, which Harley Quinn started out in non-continuity also, and then was brought into continuity, this book will blow up. So anytime I can find that, probably for cover price or probably under $5 in high grade, I will pick that book up. A very high grade G.I. Joe Special Missions number 2, Great Mike Zeck cover for 35 cents. Third printing of Amazing Spider-Man, $6.98. Next to the, let's see, it ended on 700, so third to the last issue of the volume number 1. I don't know why, but anytime I find this book in high grade, I cannot leave it there because I think it's a beautiful, beautiful Adam Hughes cover. This one, and there's another one, I think it's number, I don't have to look and see what number that is, but it's the one where someone is blowing at you from Ferris. This is number 24, gorgeous pink cover. Doesn't go for anything. I mean, you can find that for cover price, even on eBay. I mean, granted, you got to pay for postage, but for 35 cents, I was definitely not leaving there. I probably, the most I would pay for it would be nowadays $1, and it'd have to be in high grade. I've got tons of copies of that now. I got this for 35 cents. Maximum Carnage Part 414. Spider-Man number 35. I don't have that entire story arc, and so I'm gradually picking up pieces as I go. As I'm trying to complete the Totally Awesome Hulk run, I never can remember all of the issues that I have, so I always pick them up, the early issues, because I don't remember if I do, but I already had this. But for 35 cents, I wasn't going to leave it there. Totally Awesome Hulk number 9 and number 4. Not really expensive books, but they look good. They were in high grade, so I picked them up. This was $1. I saw this, and this is in very high grade. Thunderbolts number 1, the Knotted by Nature hip hop homage cover, great looking cover, great album. This book, I have the variant 1 in 25, but when I see this in high grade, I'm going to pick it up, and that is Thunderbolts number 1. 2 copies of cover A, regular cover, in their mint. We'll see. A little speculation on that. Sorry for the pause. I don't know where it went. Dang it. Oh well. We'll just keep going. Mighty Thor number 5. Can't remember which volume it is, but it's the one with Jane Foster as Thor. Number 5. Number 6, Jason Aaron run. Number 7. I paid 35 cents for those. Number 10. These are all in high grade near mint. Number 10. Another copy of G.I. Joe Special Missions number 1. Also in high grade near mint. All New Wolverine number 5 for 35 cents. Dang it. I was trying to show you guys this book, but I can't find it. And on Mighty Thor number 8, where it reveals as Jane Foster, but oh well, I can't find it. If I find it in this video, I'll show it to you. Alright, so we're at 17 minutes. Show you a few more dollar books. Now these two are great books, as we all know. They're getting spec'd on. Young Guns Sketchbook 2004, and this is in VF near mint. There's one little spine tick here, but because of the color of the cover, it doesn't break. It doesn't break color. This is the first appearance of Young Avengers. It's probably near mint minus because of the one spine tick. I figured 9.2 maybe. And I got that for $1. I found 2 copies for $1. Those make my second and third copy. That's going for a respectable amount of money now. Easy $20, as high as $40. What's crazy is, that was a freebie, right? That was a free promotion from Marvel. This was a great find for $1 that I just got this weekend. When I took it up to buy, the sales clerk looked at it and was like, like surprised that I was able to find it. Oh, here it is. Thor number 8. That was hot once, and it's going to be hot again when the next Thor movie comes out, Love and Rockets or whatever it's called, where Jane Foster reveals she's a Thor. That was $1. That book at one point, peaked at $50, then it dropped down, and now it's not very expensive. I'm surprised to find that in dollar bin still. I've said this before. Anytime I see any God of Thunder for cheap, cover price or less, I'd probably pay as much as $5 for any issue in that run, because the Assad Ribic art covers are just beautiful. But this is God of Thunder number 4 for $1. These are all great finds for $1. Um, that's the second appearance of Null. God of Thunder number 10. Um, number 15. Number 17. All for $1 a piece. I got this for a quarter, which is only fine, but for a early bronze comic, Marvel Team Up. Number 34 looks great in Mylar, but there's some the spine was a little rolled. I figure it's a fine. It's probably VG to fine minus probably a 6.5, but it really looks good in a Mylar. I bought this even though I have lots of copies of this already, but this book is starting to heat up. Every time I see it, particularly in bagged condition, sealed, I buy it. It used to be everywhere, and now you'll see it's harder and harder to find in a dollar bin in a wild. But this is Ghost Rider and Blaze Spirits of Vengeance number 1, unbagged. It's getting harder and harder to find. That's probably, at one point, dollar bin find every day. Now it's less readily found, and now it's going for $5 to $10 on eBay in a bagged comic, or even unbagged for that matter. A lot of people have spec'd on this book. You see it on many videos. I agree. I still find this book pretty readily available. It's hard to find in near mint nowadays simply because it's a majority white cover. So it's hard to find one clean still, but there are so many of these printed. A lot easier to find, in my opinion, to find this book, Snow Blinded, Ghost Rider number 24, which is the first appearance of the character Michael Bandolino, who later becomes Vengeance in Spirits of Vengeance number 8. I only have one copy of that. I'll always look for that book, but I never find it as much as I find these. These were all, 2 of these I paid $1, and this one I paid 35 cents. These are still all 3 in pretty high grade and pretty white copies still. So I will pick this book up every time I see it. Some more dollar bins. Ghost Rider number 15. I'm not Ghost Rider. Captain America number 15. Sam Wilson number 16. Number 17. And then number 19, which is a full first appearance of Rayshawn Lucas, who later becomes the new Falcon. I like that book. Still not an expensive book yet, but I think it has some time to grow. So for $1, I'm going to pick that up. And then I picked this up just because I needed it for my run. Still a great looking cover by Mike Deodato. Wonder Woman 123. Great cover. Now this book here is a book that I was surprised to see in the dollar bin. When this book came out, it sold out immediately. It's right when DC started doing all these cover Bs, semi-virgin variants at the same price as the regular cover, which nowadays they put them on cardstock, and now they're charging $5.99 for the comic. But, just another way to make more money, which, I understand. Everybody's trying to make money. But this, for $1, Nightwing number 54, the Yasmin Putri variant cover, gorgeous cover. I had bought, I think 4, maybe 5 copies of that when it first came out. That book is doing something now. That book is now $24. There is another book that came out around this time. She did a few books for DC over a course of 4 or 5 months that really has taken off. There's the Young Justice number 1, cover B, That's probably a $30 to $40 book. This one here, Nightwing 54, that's a $25 book. And then there's Red Hood and the Outlaws cover B, where Red Hood is fighting Batman. That also sold out immediately, and that book goes for a little bit more than this one. This one again is selling for $25 if you can find them on eBay. There's not a lot of listings for it, and then the Red Hood one is going for about $40. Got this for $1. Maze Agency number 10, early Adam Hughes. And then my last video I showed how I bought this set, Rose and Thorn 1 through 6, because I could never find 4, 5, and 6 in the wild. And, you know, they want crazy money sometimes on eBay for these books. I always thought I'd be able to find them in the wild. And, you know, I found many copies of 1 and 2. But 3 is a little bit hard to find. I only have like 1 copy of that. But this book, for obvious reasons, number 4, number 5, and number 6 by Adam Hughes are a little bit harder to find, and they probably each go for, you know, individually $20, $25. And so, like I said, I bought that. You know, I was on my watch alerts for eBay. That came out, and so I got this set here for $42. And then as soon as I purchased that, how eBay suggests is another one, another set came up, and I just got that in the mail yesterday, and that was, or not yesterday, Friday before I left town, and that was $30, and I bought that set too. So now I have multiple copies of 1, 2, and 3, but now 2 complete runs of Rose and Thorn 1 through 6. You know, what's interesting is this set was advertised as very fine, and I think it came in pretty high grade. 1 and 2. 1 is probably not as near, still near mint, but not as in high grade as the remainder copies, 2 through 6. And that was $42. I was like, man, I at first I was like, oh, did I overpay for that? Because I saw this next set listed for $30, and it was listed as near mint. But I would say it's close, you know. 2 near mint. Number 1 was definitely near mint minus. Number 2 was high grade near mint. Number 3 was near mint. But then the books that I really wanted weren't as high grade, so I'm glad I bought both sets. This was very fine because there's a spine, several spine ticks on the bottom here. I'm not sure if it's because the result of a corner drop. Might be able to be pressed out if I ever decided to do that. Number 5 was only VF because there was a lot of... You can't even really see them on here, but there's like a color rub there. And then number 6 was a VF plus also. So not as high grade as the first set that I bought. So I'm really happy that I bought both sets. All right. So we're at 29 minutes. I'm going to show these last 3 books that I did not get in a dollar bin, but I'm happy to have paid what I paid. So the first book, I couldn't recall if I had this book or not. I think I have 1 copy. I'm not sure what grade it's in. But this is Iron Man 281, which is the first cameo appearance of War Machine. Actually, I'm sure I have this copy. This is probably a VF because there's 3 spine ticks here. War Machine is on the last page, full frontal, full panel splash page of War Machine. I paid $7 for that book, and I think that's probably a good price. It's hard to find that in the dollar bin and even in back issues. War Machine's pretty popular. 282 goes for probably $50 now. It was a good price to pay for that for $7. Then I got this, which is also hard to find anywhere. G.I. Joe Volume 1, number 137, starring Snake Eyes versus Scarlet. That is a sealed copy with the cards still in the bag. They had 2 copies there. They were both $7. This one was even in the poly bag. You could still see this was still in high grade near mint. So for $7, I bought that. I thought that was a good deal. And then this one here, I thought was a great deal. I never see this in the wild anymore. I don't even see this on walls anymore. I did not have this copy yet, but I was looking for it. And that is X-Men Origins number 1, which they had just got in. It was in their new, quotes, hotkeys, and that they had just received. And they had this priced at $16. Now, this is probably VF. There's 2 spine ticks right there, if you can see them. One at the staple and one just below the staple. They both break color. So, I debated about whether buying that or not, but I think even in that condition, it's definitely worth more than I paid for. I paid $16 for that book, and I think in that condition, that book is probably a $30 or $40 book, easy. So, for $16, I figure, I found enough decent finds for $1 that I was ahead, and I went ahead and bought that book. I'm glad I did it. So I think that's going to be it. That's 32 minutes. I'll leave you with that. X-Men Origins, great looking cover with Gambit. He's not my favorite X-Men. He is one of my favorite, I guess, but great looking cover, hard to find in the wild. Glad to have it, and I think definitely was worth $16. So there you have it. That's my haul. We'll talk to you later. Peace.